The Great Pyramid of Giza, a towering structure 480 feet high and built over 4,500 years ago, continues to amaze both historians and scientists alike. To uncover its hidden secrets, researchers sent a robot equipped with a camera deep into the pyramid. As the robot moved forward, it encountered a large stone slab blocking its path. The researchers were certain that something important lay behind this stone, hidden for thousands of years. Determined to find out what it was, they used a drill to break through the stone and sent the camera into the new opening. What they discovered on the other side was a scene no one had seen in over 4,500 years. The Great Pyramid is the largest of the three pyramids at Giza, and it's one of the most extraordinary buildings ever constructed. It was made with millions of massive stone blocks, some weighing as much as 50 tons. The pyramid itself weighs about 60 million tons, which is equivalent to the weight of 12 Burj Khalifas, the tallest buildings in the world. Despite surviving numerous earthquakes and violent storms, the pyramid still stands strong today. This raises the question, why was such a gigantic and complex structure built? And how did the ancient Egyptians manage to build it without the advanced tools we have today? At the time the pyramid was built, the Egyptians didn't have cranes, bulldozers, or modern machinery. Yet, somehow, they managed to transport huge blocks of stone, some weighing 50 tons, and place them perfectly in position. How did they do this without modern tools? How did they cut and shape these giant stones to fit together so precisely? And how did they lift these massive stones to the top of a pyramid that reaches 480 feet into the sky? One of the most impressive features of the Great Pyramid is its alignment. The four sides of the pyramid are perfectly aligned with the cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. This precise alignment, achieved without the use of a compass, has puzzled experts for centuries. Some believe the ancient architects must have used the stars to guide their work. Specifically, they might have relied on the pole star, a star that helps identify the direction of Earth's poles. By observing the stars and using basic tools, the Egyptians were able to achieve perfect alignment, without any need for a compass or advanced instruments. Another challenge the builders faced was leveling the ground on which the pyramid was built. The pyramid covers an enormous area, roughly the size of 9 football fields. If the ground underneath was even slightly uneven, the massive structure would have collapsed. But the engineers didn't have laser levels or advanced measuring devices to help them. So, how did they ensure the ground was perfectly level? Some experts believe the ancient Egyptians used a simple yet effective method involving water. They might have created a system of channels around the construction site and filled them with water. By measuring the water level at different points, they could ensure the ground was level. Water naturally finds its own level, so this would have been a reliable way to ensure the construction site was flat and stable. The Great Pyramid's design is not only remarkable for its size and complexity but also for its durability. It has survived thousands of years of earthquakes, storms, and other natural disasters. Many other ancient structures have not been so fortunate, but the Great Pyramid remains standing. Its engineers designed it to be earthquake-resistant, and the precise way in which the stones were placed helped keep the pyramid stable over the centuries. The pyramid's precise construction is another mystery. The blocks of stone are cut and shaped with incredible accuracy. Some of the stones weigh as much as 50 tons, and yet they fit together so perfectly that it's almost impossible to fit a knife blade between them. How the ancient Egyptians were able to cut and move these massive stones without modern tools remains a question that many researchers are still trying to answer. Despite the many questions still surrounding the Great Pyramid, it is clear that the people who built it were highly skilled engineers and architects. They used basic tools and simple techniques, yet they were able to create a structure that has stood the test of time. The mysteries of how the pyramid was built and what secrets it holds continue to fascinate researchers and visitors from around the world. Each new discovery brings us closer to understanding how the ancient Egyptians achieved such incredible feats, and the Great Pyramid will continue to be a symbol of their ingenuity and determination for generations to come. In conclusion, the Great Pyramid of Giza is more than just an ancient monument, it's a testament to the skill, knowledge, and creativity of its builders. While many questions remain unanswered, the pyramid's enduring presence reminds us of the wonders that human beings can accomplish, even without the tools and technology we have today. The construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, remains a fascinating mystery, especially considering the tools and techniques used over 4,500 years ago. When experts set out to understand how this massive structure was built, they faced numerous challenges, from leveling the land to cutting and moving huge stones, many of which weighed as much as 50 tons. But perhaps one of the most remarkable feats was the use of advanced tools and methods that were far ahead of their time. The first challenge in building the pyramid was preparing the land. It needed to be perfectly level, as even the slightest unevenness could make the construction unstable. The ancient engineers didn't have modern laser levels or other high-tech instruments, so how did they manage this task? One theory is that they used a simple but effective method involving water. They likely created a system of channels around the construction site, filling them with water. Since water naturally seeks a level, the builders could measure the water levels on different sides of the site to ensure the land was perfectly flat. However, any area of the land that didn't match the water level would need to be leveled. This was likely done by using chisels and hammers to cut away the uneven parts of the ground. Experts also believe that another simple tool was used to check the level, a piece of wood with a stone tied to the middle. If the stone hung perfectly in the center, it meant the ground was level. This basic yet effective technique helped ensure that the entire base of the pyramid was stable before construction even began. With the ground leveled, the next task was to align the pyramid with the cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. This task was no easy feat, as there were no compasses or advanced instruments available at the time. However, experts believe the ancient Egyptians used the stars to guide their work. Specifically, they may have used the pole star, which helps to determine the Earth's poles. By observing the stars, they were able to achieve precise alignment of the pyramid sides without needing a compass or any other optical instruments. Once the land was leveled and the direction set, the next challenge was to begin the construction itself. The Great Pyramid is made of millions of large limestone blocks, each weighing tons. Moving and placing these stones was no easy feat. The Egyptians didn't have cranes or modern machines, so they must have used human labor to transport the blocks to the building site. Experts believe that the stones were hauled up the pyramid sides using a series of ramps, possibly in a spiral or zigzag pattern. The laborers, working together in teams, would have used ropes, levers, and sheer manpower to lift and position each block. However, there was another mystery about the pyramid that puzzled researchers: the stones used for the inner chambers. These were not made of limestone, but rather granite, one of the hardest stones in the world. Granite is incredibly difficult to cut, and modern tools like grinders are often needed to shape it. Yet, the ancient Egyptians were able to cut the granite blocks with incredible precision, even without modern equipment. This challenge was particularly puzzling, as the technology to cut such hard stone was thought to have been unavailable at the time. After years of research, experts finally figured out how the ancient Egyptians managed to cut granite so cleanly. They used a technique involving a saw without teeth. The saw was placed on the granite with weights on both sides. Gravel was poured between the saw and the stone, and as the saw was driven back and forth, it slowly wore down the granite, cutting through it over a period of several months. This technique, though slow and labor-intensive, allowed the Egyptians to cut the granite with remarkable precision, even though they lacked the advanced tools we have today. But the construction of the Great Pyramid wasn't just about cutting and transporting stones. The pyramid also contains a series of internal chambers and passageways, which are just as impressive as the exterior. Many of these chambers were built using the same precision and care as the rest of the pyramid. It's amazing to think about how the ancient builders were able to design and construct such complex and intricate systems without the modern tools and technology we rely on today. Another part of the pyramid that puzzled researchers was the purpose behind the many laborers involved in the project. The sheer scale of the pyramid required the efforts of thousands of workers, including masons, laborers, and architects. Some estimates suggest that as many as 20,000 to 30,000 workers might have been employed at the peak of construction. These workers would have lived in nearby temporary settlements and worked for many years on the project. It's still unclear exactly how the labor was organized and managed, but the level of coordination required to build such a massive structure is staggering. A recent discovery involving a robotic camera also gave us a glimpse into a previously unseen part of the pyramid. When the robot ventured into a sealed chamber deep inside the pyramid, it uncovered a hidden scene that had not been seen for over 4,500 years. This discovery raised more questions about the pyramid's purpose and the advanced methods used in its construction. It's still unclear what secrets might be hidden inside the pyramid, but this new finding has only deepened the mystery surrounding this ancient wonder. In conclusion, the Great Pyramid of Giza is not only a marvel of ancient engineering but also a testament to the incredible ingenuity and skill of its builders. The techniques they used to cut, transport, and place the massive stones are still a subject of fascination today. While many questions about the construction process remain unanswered, each new discovery brings us closer to understanding how such an extraordinary structure was built. The pyramid continues to stand as a symbol of human achievement, and its mysteries will likely continue to intrigue and inspire for generations to come.